Hello guys, I am S3D and this is gonna be a review on the McFarlane Toys Doomslayer from the video game Doom. So obviously this is a new figure that was released in 2019. You got the ID Games and Bethesda logo right here, obviously a licensed product. McFarlane Toys located in Tempe, Arizona. More detail at McFarlane.com. This figure was released in October 2019, and you can find this figure, oh, look at here, at GameStop for $22.99. This is actually a figure that was given to me by a friend who, who watches my other channel, Crap for Sale. So why did I decide to review on this channel? Well, I have no other content. So we'll make this one exception to the rule. I do review domestic figures from every once in a while. So yeah, it looks okay actually. I thought there was gonna be significant paint issues with this figure, but I guess we'll just have to see. The packaging does seem very nice though. Okay, so there we go. Oh, and looks like we have a stand. So, is there any other instructions? No. So we have a stand. This is actually a gift from my friend. I don't know if I want to keep it or not. Okay, first off, I don't like the packaging. Look at the way this thing is. To get the stand out, you're gonna have to destroy the packaging. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna destroy the packaging then. Look at that, that's not a very good design. Okay, so you kind of ruined the packaging trying to get the stand out. So, for the most part, this thing is still a pretty collector-friendly box. Let's see. Yeah, this, for the most part, is very collector-friendly. You can put it back in the packaging. If you plan on reselling it in the future. This thing is just very generic. It's like a piece of plastic that says Doom, and it has a little peck on it. So, I really don't care for that. We have his wrist blade. What is he, a Predator now? It's kind of crooked, as expected. You can heat it up, or try to bend it back into shape, if you like. And we have these ties that ties the figure to the packaging. Now I'm actually going to this thing blind. I have quite a few preconceived notions about these McFarlane figures. I was pretty impressed. Oh boy, I was actually pretty impressed with the some of the Fortnite figures when it came out, when it was released early in 2019. Was it 2019 or late 2018? But unfortunately, a lot of my viewers are not fans of Fortnite because there's a lot of people in Asia who doesn't like the Fortnite game. So if you live in Asian countries, you guys all know, Tencent is pushing PUBG very hard. So yeah, most of the people from Asian countries are into PUBG, not into Fortnite. So there we go. Alright, so here we have the Doomslayer figure. I have to say, my initial impressions, I'm actually very impressed with the scope. This is actually a very nice scope. Yeah. The scope lines are very, very clean. For for this scale, this is technically not 1/12 scale. This is like a 7-inch figure, so it's not exactly a 1/12 scale. I would say it's like an odd scale. I really don't know where this figure fits in. It fits in with your other McFarlane Toys figure, that's for sure. With your I'd say maybe NECA figures or your Marvel Select, I guess. It would work with those. And yeah, the paintwork is very clean. I'm not trying to be biased here. You know, to be honest with you, I kind of didn't care about McFarlane toys at all for the better part of the last decade or so. I was impressed with some of the Fortnite figure when it first came out, but then quickly, become like, not impressed. But this guy, I have to say, is actually very well done. I mean, just look at it. I'm not here to, I'm actually very biased toward this brand. And people know me as an asshole when it comes to like product reviews. I'm just, I'm a huge critic. If I can bash something, I will. Now that's just for the scope. The scope is fine. Let's go into the paintwork. The paintwork looks generally speaking, the paintwork looks pretty clean. There is a lot of wash. There's quite a bit of wash on this figure. I feel like it's just quite a bit of dry brushing, excessive amount of dry brushing, which yeah, unfortunately that's something you want to look out for. It's that's a lot of dry brushing. But for the fine detail work, you can see on the helmet, that's actually a Chinese character that says King. I don't know why that's on there, but why is that? Interesting. Okay, I did not know that detail on the figure, on the Doomslayer, but yeah, for the most part, the paintwork is actually very clean. So, yeah. When my friend showed me this figure, he's like, dude, you gotta review it on your main channel. Don't do it on Craft for Sale. Okay, the sculpt is good. The paint is good. I know the articulation probably gonna suck. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the, we'll get to that. Look at the accessories first. So we have the wrist blade right here. Again, the paintwork is okay. There's really not much to do here. There's really, I mean, it's just a blade that's painted silver. So I guess this thing attached to the wrist like that. Okay, that works. So that's not bad. Okay. And then he has a shotgun. Can you really mess this thing up? Not really. The blade's actually painted okay. And there's some bleeding right there around the edges. Silver paint. Probably from this part. This part is pretty nicely done. Do we have mold lines? Yes, we do have a mold line that go across. But you know what? For this scale, for this price point, $25. Yeah, I have seen like $300 figures with accessory with like crazy mold lines. So you know what? This is good. This is pretty good. All right. So let's see. Of course, the articulation is probably the worst aspect of this figure. So, yep, don't expect too much articulation. I can just tell you right off the bat that this thing is gonna have poor articulation. So you hear like some kind of a plastic cracking or something like that. I don't know. Very sketchy. I hope nothing broke. But yeah, you're not really gonna get much out of this articulation. It looks like there's gonna be a hinge in there. You can see that, but it's not really doing anything. All I hear is a crack. That's it. So that's very concerning. Basically nothing. You can move it around a little bit. Let me see if I can pull this out. You can, well, I guess you can pull it down a little bit, but it really doesn't do anything. It might be like NECA toys where you have to heat it up in order to get more articulation out of it. I'm trying to pull this thing out. There is technically a hinge, but it's not moving at all. So I guess if you can activate the hinge, it can go back and forth like that. But yeah, not too impressed with the feet articulation. There's no ankle rockers, I can tell you that. I guess you can work this joint into an ankle rocker. I'm really trying to take this thing apart. Okay, so what you can do, I guess if you can rotate that, rotate this around and then turn it into an ankle rocker. I think it's possible. Okay, so you can rotate this up, and this thing is on a peg. So technically, okay, I guess you can make an ankle rocker out of that. It's gonna be really tough, but it's doable. So technically, you can get an ankle rocker. It's very hard to see, but you can get an ankle rocker. So, all right. This looks like a single jointed knee. Actually, no, it's a double jointed knee. I'm actually quite surprised with the articulation here. It's a very interestingly designed double jointed knee. You have this part that goes underneath the leg, and then there's another hinge up here. So this is a very unique looking design. Of course, unfortunately, even though it's technically double jointed, you are not gonna get more than 90 degrees out of that. Okay, so articulation is not the best suit, of course. These are the hip joints right here, ball joint for the hips. We actually have a thigh cut, but it's not going anywhere. Do we have a knee cut? Oh, we also have a knee cut. So that's interesting. That creates more points of articulation. Let's see, how far can this hip go? Alright, so it's kind of like the One Punch Man stuff. You're really not gonna get like much articulation out of this guy. He looks good, but he's very stiff. Okay, so we have the waist articulation. Yeah, again, very stiff, not much movement due to like all the sculpt work, all the stuff. Diaphragm joint is fantastic though. That's actually pretty good. Let's see. Shoulder joint, shoulder armor is on a ball joint. That's pretty nice. Okay, and arms is on this. I think it's a peg that goes into the shoulder, and then another that goes into the thing. But yeah, you can't do anything. The scope is just not designed for that. You can try to pull the arm out a little bit to trying to cheat a little bit, so you make it maybe get like that. That's not even 45 degrees. Yeah, so that kind of suck. Okay, and another thing is like his arm is just gonna be sticking out like this. Like that. His arm is always gonna be like that. You can't bring the arm in any further. Without modifying the figure, of course, if you have modding skills, you can make all kind of articulation mod to this figure. Sadly, no bicep swivel, so no bicep cut right there. So that's crap. You see a humongous mole line going across the bicep. Okay, single jointed elbow, not impressive. Arm can go like that. So how is he gonna pose with his shotgun? Very poorly. you have no bicep swivel, so he's just gonna point his shotgun like this. Hi, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you like this. I'm gonna shoot you. Nope. I'm just gonna shoot you like this. So here we go. Me being an asshole again. All right. So we have a ball joint here for the wrist. The wrist is on these. Okay, kind of like the 6 scale stuff. We have the ball joint wrist with a hinge. Is it actually gonna work though? It's very stiff. Again, I can barely activate that hinge right there, so that's problematic. Okay, all right, and then a head is on the ball joint here. Is it a double ball joint? Yeah, it's a double ball joint. There's a ball joint that goes into the. Oh, that looks funky as heck. Well, hey, at least you got movement. So, I'm afraid. I think you got to be careful. You might break this peg. Look at that. This is how this thing is designed. So maybe they were thinking about doing like a mask version of this dude, but that looks really weird. Okay, we have rotation right there like that. Oh, well, that's not bad actually. He can actually look up, although you'll see that. I wish there was something, I wish he had the neck that covered this up because this looks ridiculous. If I was Anthony's custom, I would be like, oh my god, this is lollipop syndrome. This is like lollipop syndrome from hell. This is literally just a lollipop. Look at that. The head is a lollipop. Okay, but it's very nicely sculpted, pretty decently painted, so I give them a pass on that, sort of. If you're not going to be doing a lot of it, of course, that's not really the right way to review a figure. But anyway, again, arm can barely go perpendicular. It can't go perpendicular. It's not even 45 degrees. Single bend at the elbow, single jointed elbow, no bicep swivel. Yeah, it looks good, but it's got quite a few shortcomings when it comes to the articulation. Well, since this is like the only Doomslayer figure out there right now, I say, you know, it does have desirability value to it, unless someone else come and do a better one. Definitely, McFarlane's definitely sacrificing the articulation for the scope work. So he's known to do that. You know, sometimes he's willing to sacrifice articulation just so you have a better looking figure versus something that's, well, maybe well articulated and stuff like that. It's recommended for 14 plus, not a toy. So obviously it's not gonna appeal to like the younger generation. So if you don't care about articulation too much, you know, if you're a high-end figure collector like myself, articulation isn't really a big concern. Although personally, I don't collect anything in this scale anyway. Okay, and then we have the shoulder cannon here. I guess he is a predator. You have articulation right here. You have articulation right there. And then you can pose this thing, which I think is pretty cool. This is probably one of the cooler weapon gimmicks out there, actually. So, yeah. He can't really point his weapon, but his shoulder cannon can go many directions. So I guess that helps him out quite a bit. Okay, so really, we really never have gotten like a very well articulated Doomslayer figure. The other one that's available currently on the market is the 3A version, the 1/6 scale, the $300 figure. That thing has pretty much no articulation whatsoever. Anyway, it looks great though, but this guy looks great too. So for 25 bucks, I guess it's purely subjective. If you don't care about the articulation, I say go for it. It's definitely not a bad looking figure. The paintwork is solid. The sculpt is solid. You know, you can put him in some very basic museum poses. That's about it. And you know, being the only Doomslayer right now on the market at an affordable price, I think a lot of people are gonna be getting this guy just so they can have a Doomslayer. I am trying to get myself, you know, the 3A version, $300 version, but we'll see how, if I'll ever get it. But yeah, anyway, that is pretty much it for the McFarlane Toys Doomslayer. I think overall they did an okay job. The scope is good, paintwork's good. Don't expect too much from the articulation because it's not a toy. Alright, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys find the information helpful. Thanks for watching.